Hello, everyone. My name is Adam Lyons. I am the founder and co-host of the Undercut podcast. Today, I am again joined by Mark Gould.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
And today on the podcast, we are going to be we're introducing a new episode style.
Yeah, our second of our 2 weekly episodes now.
Exactly.
Expect more out of us.
So on top of the race reviews and then doing various topics on off weeks, we're going to be doing this where we just review all of the news and updates and discuss them of everything that happened in Formula One this week.
Just another chance for us to get together and share our opinions on anything and everything Formula One, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
The more we get together and chat, the better.
So let's roll the intro and get right into it. Okay, so big week in Formula One, Mark?
Oh, huge.
Not bigger than most weeks, but
this last 24 hours has been a pretty big week.
Yeah, especially with
big day. Sorry,
big couple days.
Yeah.
We got Imola coming up this weekend. I'm super pumped for that. I want to see how the modified schedule is going to work. I think it's going to be the same as Germany, where they just don't get a lot of information. So I think it's going to be interesting, but we're going to review that on our podcast on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. So the first thing is both Williams drivers, this happened this morning, both Williams drivers are staying for next year. Mark, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's the complete opposite of what we thought was going to happen. I mean,
speak for yourself.
No, I thought we had a very similar opinion on the topic. But what I will say is that it was honestly probably the smartest decision out of the Williams family. And, well, I guess they don't really own it anymore, but the Williams Corporation.
Because rest in peace to Claire and Frank Williams. How's retirement?
Hey, they're still around.
They're still around?
Yeah.
I'm asking how retirement is.
But, as I was saying, George Russell is a great driver. And this is his second season in Formula One, and he consistently outdoes his teammate. But also, they get a lot of money out of Nicholas Latifi. So, I think it was probably a smart decision for the two.
Yeah, he's got the Lavazza. Lavazza? I don't know.
Markham's own.
Markham's very own. Yeah, I think, I would have been very upset if they went with Perez. Not because I don't like Perez, but just, sacrificing a young, talented driver out of a Formula One seat for money is necessary from a business perspective. It makes sense, but it's one of those things you really hate to see.
Yeah, absolutely. But they also already have a pay-to-play driver.
But they need more money.
I know they do. Do you think that their money troubles are haven't gone away a little bit with this new acquisition? You'd think so. Why is the team gonna buy it?
With the new acquisition and the money from Latifi, it's great, but it's one of those things you can never have too much money.
It's true. I guess, and you need to be able to compete, right?
Yeah.
But
to maximize that cost cap.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. I think they made the right call there. You have the Checo Mexican money that he brings in, all those pesos. Yeah, no, I know. But yeah, it would have been good to have him too, because he's a consistent driver. Checo's a consistent driver.
Mm-hmm.
But he I don't know. I really do think they made the right call at Williams.
Yeah, for sure. Checo's consistent, but he's a little bit older. He's had more experience in Formula One, and he brings money. But Russell he's so young.
He's got so much talent.
And he's so much potential.
Yeah.
He's got so much room to grow in that Williams seat. So to keep him, especially if they're not sure how the Bottas thing's going to play out in Mercedes, and he's a viable option.
Yeah.
Alongside with Max Verstappen and God knows who else.
Max is with Red Bull till 2023 minimum.
Yeah, but
there's a few years before he's going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Red Bull golden boy right now still.
But if they got rid of Russell this year, who else is going to take that Mercedes seat if Bottas or Hamilton retires or Bottas just continues to shit the bed and he gets booted? They don't want him in there.
It's tough to say, right? it will. I think Russell will eventually take over that Mercedes seat, and I think this was good for him because, he.
He can't be doing that if he's not racing in Formula One.
No, that's true. That's exactly what I was thinking. But it gives him time to grow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you sit in this Williams seat where you're not gonna win. You know what I mean? Like the car's just the bottom of the grid right now.
You never know. They have a pretty good record at Imola. So I think they can. I think they might be.
Yeah,
able to,
but how long ago was that? Yeah. No, but do you know what I mean? Like, you grow in the seat. I know you're not going to win. I know you're not going to get your championship like you want to. But you grow in the seat and you put yourself in a position to take over a better seat where you really do have a shot at winning a championship.
Exactly. But Mark, you're a Ferrari fan, if I'm correct.
You are. You're more than correct, my friend.
Unfortunately.
Hey. It's a tough time to be a Ferrari fan, I know.
Yeah.
But that just takes
it's been a tough
the rules
time.
out the weak from the strong, you know what I mean?
It's been a tough time to be a Ferrari fan since 2007.
It has, but we've had some promising years. You know, the first half of 2018. Last year we had some good races. We have a Charles Leclerc, who was my favorite and controversially, my opinion, the best driver on the grid.
Well, it is very controversial.
But like,
not you're gonna say that with Roman Grosjean. Serious, Mark?
Listen, I'm not saying based on accolades and championships. I'm more saying based on his pure talent. And he's a great looking guy. And actually, he's Montclair's. Thank you.
No, I'm talking about Roman Grosjean. He might not be quick. He might not be very consistent. He might not be.
Romeo.
Listen,
Romeo.
We're getting a lot of problems. But imagine Sauber, Alfa Romeo, needed money, so they canned Leclerc for, like, Perez.
That would have been silly.
Exactly. And that is the same reason they don't want to can Russell.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with that. Yeah.
I was just proving to my point because I know there's going to be a couple, all out of the 30.
All you little listeners out there. To be honest with you, we don't have an excuse for this one. It's not even 9 yet.
It's already a shit show right off the start. But it wouldn't be the Undercut podcast if it wasn't a shit show right off the start. But so what does this mean for Perez now? So he's not going to Williams.
No.
He's not staying at Aston Martin. He's not going to go to Haas. Surely he's not going to go to Haas.
No, I don't think so.
Like, as Sergio Perez, taking a step back is not really the smartest move in his career right now. Like, as much as he wants to race in Formula One, I think...
But what's his other option? Not racing?
Red Bull. I have changed my opinion. I really want...
You think Checo's going to take that Red Bull seat?
I firmly...
Over Hülkenberg?
I believe so, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So then where does Hülkenberg land next year? Or does he not?
He goes from his living room.
He's not... You don't think he's got it? You think he's done?
I believe so, yeah. He came back. He had a couple of sensational races this season.
Yeah.
He's a great driver, but so is Checo. Checo's consistent. He's quick. He stepped up in the second half of the season. He's obliterating Lance Stroll in the championship now.
It's true.
So for him to go to the Red Bull seat, they kind of need money to get, if they want to take out the Honda IPO and, if I said that right, and start manufacturing Honda engines as Red Bull engines, they're going to need some money to make that make sense. He brings in the Mexican sponsorships. He brings in consistency and skill. I firmly believe...
He'd definitely be a good number 2 driver for Max.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's quick. He's got to be better than... So if it's between Perez and Hülkenberg and Albon, Albon's going to take... Albon needs to just... This is what he needs to do. He needs to take 2 weeks off from Formula One. Just relax for 2 weeks. And then just give it up altogether.
You think he's just done?
Yeah.
He can do what every Formula One driver goes to do after they die, and that's race Formula E.
Yes. Which is what his original plan was. He's going to go to the Nissan team, whatever fucking team he was going to race for back in 2018. Hey, you up? I miss you. So things didn't really work.
He's going to go from actual racing to a video game and have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, in a league where fans get to decide who gets more horsepower based on who they like better.
Full-time Twitch streamer, ex-Formula One driver, Alexander Albon. No, I shouldn't have been that, I guess, aggressive. I do, like, because you have Tsunoda.
Yeah, Yuki Tsunoda.
He's coming into, he's hot. Honda wants him. He's quick. He's third in the championship.
Yeah.
They
have 2 championships. Let's clarify that.
They have 2 championships.
Yeah.
My apologies. He's third in his respective championship, and Honda wants him. So I think he has a chance. I don't know the disruption that between that probability of that happening.
Yeah.
Like how much that was disrupted when Honda left the sport or decided to leave the sport. But I think he's quick, and he might end up in that seat over Alexander Albon, and Albon's gonna get the boot.
Like in the AlphaTauri seat? Yeah.
Or it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be Albon.
I hope Yuki Tsunoda gets that seat. You know what I mean? I think he's good. Like if you watch, I've been watching some F2 highlights recently, which I won't lie to you guys, I don't often follow F2 as much as I should because it is the gateway to Formula 1. But he has been racing well. Granted, you know who's doing better than him? 2 Ferrari Academy drivers in Callum Ilott and the best Schumacher.
Ralph.
Yeah. the guy who retired
Ralph,
10 years ago.
Back in Formula 2. Mark,
Mick
don't
Schumacher.
Lie. If I say Schumacher, what's the first name you think of? It's Ralph.
Ralph. Absolutely.
Yep.
There's no better Schumacher than Ralph Schumacher.
Welcome back to the Ralph Schumacher Appraisal Podcast.
Please come on, Ralph.
Yeah. You won't answer my texts. I just text random numbers, be like, hey, are you Ralph Schumacher? I want you on my podcast. I got a lot of please block this numbers.
One day you'll get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am Ralph Schumacher.
They're like Toronto area codes, like Canadian phone numbers. So I'm way off.
No, you gotta start looking at the German ones. Das phone number.
Das phone number. I'll hit up my connections at Volkswagen. But yeah, Tsunoda's, he's pretty quick. I think if Honda wants him, and they think they want to give him a chance, they need better drivers in that Red Bull program.
Absolutely.
They went from having so many drivers that they had to kick some out in like 2014 of the program to bring new guys in.
Yeah.
To like scraping the bottom of the barrel where you're leaving Albon, who's performing so poorly, in that seat.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Continuously in that seat. He got lapped. We spoke about this in the last podcast, but he got lapped.
He did get lapped by Max.
Shocking performance.
It's
shocking performances.
Pretty upsetting, to be honest with you.
Yeah, upsetting.
But yeah, no, the Red Bull driver program does need to step up their game, which is the opposite of the Ferrari driver program right now, because they're killing it. Especially this season, and I'm not just saying that as like a Ferrari fan. Yes, I am a Ferrari fan. I will forever be a Ferrari fan.
You're kidding. You're a Ferrari fan?
Okay.
I had no idea.
No, I do think that like their driver academy this year, man, they're 1 and 2 in the championship, 2 of their guys.
Yep. Then they're like 4th, I think.
Yeah, and
6th. Mazepin's 6th.
Yeah, Mazepin's 6th. But Mick is number 1 in the championship right now. That kid's having a seat next year. He's gonna. He will have that seat. I truly believe he's gonna have one of those Haas seats, and I think it'll either be Mazepin or Callum Ilott too. You were saying you think it's be Mazepin. Mm-hmm. I think it should be Ilott because he's outperforming Mazepin. But
Mazepin brings the.
Yeah, I know money's so important in Formula 1.
The moolah.
It's a little upsetting actually.
A little bit. But. So we'll get to that in a sec. So this morning, both Kimi and Giovinazzi re-signed with Alfa. Mark, what do you think of that deal? What do you think of that choice by Alfa Romeo? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad?
I think Kimi was a good signing. If and only if they promoted Mick to that Alfa seat instead of giving him the Haas seat, because I think that he could learn from the guy. He's been in the league what will be next year 19 seasons. Mm-hmm. On the circuit 19 seasons, and he has a championship win under his belt. He has experience. He also raced against his father, which is pretty cool for a long time, which is something you can't say about the majority of the drivers on the track. And he knows how to win. He has won, like not in the last couple of years because the Alphas aren't winning cars, but he won in 2018 in Austin.
He also was behind Vettel by like 70.
Yes, I understand. I know we've had.
And it was
Adam and I have had this argument recently, but Yes, I understand that during his second stint at Ferrari, he did absolutely get outperformed every single year by both Fernando and Seb. But,
Well, thank you for listening to the Undercut podcast. We're going to leave it on that note. Mark hates Ferrari.
but, and I'm going to say but 2 more times. But. Um, but, I guess a third. Sorry, I lost my train of thought after you cut me off.
Today, Junior.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought after you cut me off.
I'll move on to myself then. I think it is a good choice. Kimi, I really wanted to see him in Formula 1. He is the one driver where I'm like, I really want him to be... Well, Albon too, if I'm being honest, because I like Albon.
You just spent the last 10 minutes shitting on him.
Yeah, because he's terrible.
Yeah, so then why do you want him back?
Because I want him to be good. Just like
I just so badly want him to do well.
I want Russell to get a point. I want Bottas. I do not think he deserves to be in that Mercedes seat.
No, he doesn't. He needs to go.
But I want him to win.
I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna go tell him one day. Yo, Valtteri, get out.
Yep.
Go back to Finland. Go eat some fish.
Go back to being in the military.
Yeah.
You and Kimi.
Was that what he did?
Yeah.
Was he in the military?
Everyone from Finland is required to be in the military.
Is that still a thing?
I don't know if it is now, but they were both in there. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. That's super cool. I didn't know they still had conscription in Finland.
Yeah.
Of all places.
Yeah.
They're not known for having a military prowess.
Well, that's why no one fucks with them, because they got Kimi Räikkönen and Valtteri Bottas. You ever seen those two guys?
Yeah, could you imagine? You just see like those two guys like speeding in in F1 cars in the middle of a battlefield.
Yeah, they're just in tanks. Like Bottas has like 2 M16s, just one like dual wheel.
Sitting on Kimi's shoulders as he's driving the F2004 down the tracks.
All right, we're getting off topic. Kimi and Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi, he gets a lot of hate, and he had a pretty poor performance.
So he should.
But he got a lot of poor performances in the beginning of the season. But he's had some pretty good ones too in the end, and I think giving him a different chance. He's still young. I was really nervous that he wasn't going to get this seat. And I kept saying he needs to step up, and he has stepped up. He's gotten better in the season.
I think that he should have gone to Haas.
Giovinazzi?
Yeah, he would have done better in the Haas. Listen, I'm really partial on what would have been next year's pairing of Mick and Kimi. You have that veteran, the most veteran presence on the track, and you have someone to learn under, and that gives Mick a step with that to learn and grow and grow and grow and grow until he eventually gets that Ferrari seat, which will happen down the road. You're hearing it here now first. Undercut podcast with Adam and Mark. Everything we say is actual fact.
This entire podcast is speculation.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Well, 85%.
yeah, but no, realistically, like I'm so biased on that because I think that would have been so good for him, and I also just kind of want to see it. But I think that Giovinazzi could have gone to Haas, still had a seat, and then
That doesn't make any sense to me though.
No, you don't think so?
I don't believe so. I think Giovinazzi going to Haas. Like that, I don't think that was really ever in the cards, and that just wouldn't really make sense for anyone. Why would you changing teams is not ideal.
I don't know. It worked out for Shao.
Well, that was kind of an upgrade.
It is an upgrade.
But yeah, like changing teams for Charles Leclerc, but changing the teams for Giovinazzi would not be ideal, and he's not good enough where Haas is like, all right, we want to take this guy on when they have Schumacher and they have Perez. And they have Hulkenberg as options.
And Callum Ilott.
Callum Ilott. They got Mazepin. Because they need some money. But they got all these guys.
The Russian money now.
Yeah, they got Russian money. Putin's backing him.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole thing, probably.
I'm assuming.
That's speculation.
No, Putin actually came to us personally and told us that he loved him.
Right, we're not gonna associate. I said this last podcast. We're not making any associations with any dictators.
He's not a dictator. How many times do I have to explain that to you? He got voted in.
Alright, we're getting off the Putin topic. Fuck, Mark, come on. Both Kimi and Giovinazzi, staying off. I think it's the good choice. So what does this mean for Mick Schumacher? I think he's going to go to Haas for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no other place for him.
Yeah, Haas isn't going to bring back Grosjean or Magnussen.
Well, that's confirmed.
Confirmed. They've openly admitted that they're not doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the right decision. I don't know why they gave these guys so many chances. Like, Gunther Steiner's a smart guy, and he seriously gave Romain Grosjean 2 more years than he should have. And I'm sorry, that's my opinion.
Yeah,
The guy like had just some pretty crappy years, and especially 2018. The guy just spun everywhere.
But he's quick though. He's just not overall very consistent. So
No, but consistency is what you need. That's how you win championships. Yes, you need to be fast, but if you're not consistent, you're not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, all jokes aside.
No. I do not blame Haas for dumping those two drivers, but I think
No, they needed to happen.
But it made sense that they were in the season, and then they had the experience. They had the experience within the team.
Mm-hmm.
So it did make sense. But this year, that's kind of the cutoff. They need to go up. They're going down. And so...
Well, you can't really get much worse than where they are right now.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're Williams.
Yeah, because Williams isn't even in the same league. They're
they're racing F3.
Mm-hmm. So, I think Schumacher, and I think it's going to be Mazepin, because Haas needs money. Like all the F1 teams, except for Mercedes and Ferrari, Red Bull. Even Red Bull kind of needs money, but they kind of need the money, and he's going to bring a lot of money to, and he will like buy his seat essentially.
Yeah.
Kyle Milot, I think he's going to do another year in F2, but I'm not too knowledgeable on the Formula 2.
I hope he doesn't. That kid's so talented.
Mm-hmm.
The British guy, the British kid for the Ferrari team. You know, I see a future there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not so much right away for Kyle Milot. I think like as much as I'd like to see him in F1 next year, I think like another year in F2 could be beneficial for him for sure. But he will have a seat eventually. That kid's so talented.
I honestly don't have enough knowledge on that to even make a comment.
Fair enough.
But
I never did. I started following it like honestly a couple weeks ago when we started actually doing the podcast stuff better. But you know, I do think that he deserves a seat eventually, and it'll come. It'll come with time. He's a good little driver.
So, Kimi and Giovinazzi to Alfa Romeo. I think it's gonna be Schumacher and Mazepin to Haas.
Yeah.
And then So moving on, Gasly this morning signed for AlphaTauri.
Yes, sir.
I was a little shocked. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little shocked.
Were you?
Yep.
I thought it was a good move. I
think it's a good move, but I just really wanted him to go to Renault.
I know you did. I just think that, like, you know, if he has another year at Alpha under his belt and some more experience, and hopefully he proves himself more, because there was a lot of doubt, even not even that all he deserved all of it. Like, there was just a bunch of doubt because of the amount of trust Christian Horner and the Red Bull team didn't have in him in 2019. Still surrounding this kid's name, right? And he's proven himself more and more. He has a race win, right?
Yeah, and he was unhanded that race win.
No, he was not handed that race win.
You're a little lucky.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, but you got to be good to be lucky, and lucky to be good.
It's true, and the kid is gonna have next year to prove himself even more than he already has, and maybe shake a little bit of those like doubters and haters off, and find a better seat than that could have been offered to him this year. Hopefully, in a perfect world, that's how I would like to see it.
But what better seat are you gonna find than Renault? There's 4 options.
Yeah, you have
McLaren,
you have
Ferrari,
McLaren, Mercedes.
He's not gonna go back to Red Bull because if I've talked about this before, but if Gasly goes back and he's shit again, it's going to show 2 things. It's going to show an extreme proof of a toxic environment in Red Bull, and it's going to show it's just going to be the most embarrassing thing in the world. It's like
do you not think that they're I don't even know if people really need proof of a toxic environment in Red Bull. It's the Max Verstappen show, and it has been since 2016.
Yeah. But again, a lot of speculation around that. So,
is there as much though? Because Daniel Ricciardo's come out and said, on more than one occasion, that it was exactly that. I don't even know how much speculation there is.
I'm sorry, but I don't think it's as toxic as it's perceived. Like, Albon, maybe it is a little bit, but Albon should not be 6 or 7 tenths off. He should not be getting lapped by his teammate. And
no, I agree.
When you say toxicity, you just mean like a bias towards Max and making Max.
Yes, like a huge bias.
But
the difference.
It's not a 7 tenths bias.
No, it's not, and the difference is.
It's a 2 tenth bias.
Right, like now they have a clear 1 and 2 driver, and back in the day, especially when Danny Rick was there, there wasn't as much a clear 1 and 2 driver.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You had Max and you had the Honey Badger, and Daniel was there first, and Daniel was their number 1 driver for quite a little bit. He was their number 1 driver, like arguably when Seb was there for their last season towards the end of his career, and also I don't know, kinda obviously for sure when Daniel Kvyat was there. It was when it was Kvyat and Ricardo. Danny Rick was number 1. There's no arguing that. And then when Max came along, it changed a little bit, but over time it took a little bit before they were like, you know what, all our money's going into Max. Not physical money, but all of our attention, all of what we want is going into Max right now.
In 2018 and 2017, when they realized kind of Max's skill, they wanted to make him, as soon as he signed it was kind of the death note for Daniel Ricciardo. They wanted to make him the youngest world champion, so they focused, because Red Bull's all about being the biggest, the craziest, and the best, and that's what it took.
Well, they're an energy drink. They're all about extreme sports. Energy drink. They're all about wild shit.
They're an energy drink that owns 2 Formula 1 teams and has more world championships than a large percentage.
Think about what happened in the past when other energy drinks tried to get into F1. We have Rich Energy, and we know how that worked out for the Haas team.
Did very poorly.
And
Monster.
I'm pretty sure there's still Monster.
They're doing pretty good.
Yeah, they're not doing.
They didn't buy a team.
No.
Yeah, they got Hamilton, so
yeah,
it's pretty good. Moving back, what were we even talking?
Let's completely regroup for a second.
Yeah, so Gasly signed with Alfa Romeo. AlphaTauri, sorry, that would be crazy. I was a little shocked because he can't really go up besides Renault, so I wanted to see him go to Renault. Work wonders there.
Unless he proves himself. Sorry, that's what we were going on about it. Unless he proves himself enough to get, I don't know, a couple years down the road, either that McLaren seat or, you never know. I don't think he's gonna ever sit in a Ferrari in the near future. Anyway, you never know what happens 10 years down the road if he's still on the track.
Yeah,
but for now,
he can't stay in AlphaTauri for 10 more years.
No, I'm not saying that he does. I'm saying I think George Russell's going to be the one to get that next seat at Mercedes, personally. But maybe all I'm saying is it might open up opportunity for him.
But I just think
because the grid's so finicky, you never know.
Mm-hmm. But going to a Ferrari, going to a Red Bull, not a Red Bull, yeah. But going to Mercedes, I just don't believe it's in the cards.
He could do
for any of those teams.
No, not right now. He could do a Red Bull return. He should have done a Red Bull return.
But it's just not smart. It's just not a good idea for anyone, and no one's really. I mean, at least I don't really want to see that, because if he comes back and he's great, then it's good. It all worked out perfect. But if he comes back and he's bad, it will ruin his career.
Yeah.
It will deface the image of Red Bull so poorly, because it'll put such a bad.
It is risky. There's no arguing that, at all.
So I just don't think they need to look outside. If they want to do well, they need to look outside of the Red Bull driver program. Gasly's not an option.
Yeah.
And he might go back. There's never say never kind of thing, but he's not an option. Albon's not an option unless he
steps it the fuck up.
Yeah, and starts winning races tomorrow. Well, Sunday.
I
just said that as an immediate needs to win races immediately. But I think Albon's gonna either go to his only options are go to AlphaTauri or leave the sport.
Yeah.
If he goes to AlphaTauri, then Tsunoda will stay in F2.
Yeah.
If he leaves, Tsunoda will come up to AlphaTauri, and I think Perez is going to bring his sponsorships, his experience, and his consistency, and go into that Red Bull seat. And Gasly, I think he's staying. He's going to stay because he signed for another year. I believe he's going to stay at AlphaTauri. Fucking Alphas are confusing me.
I know, there's a lot of them now. There's a couple of them.
Then there's Alpine Racing. It's going to be a nightmare. Poor David Croft. He's going to have just an absolute heyday. But trying to do that, he still calls Racing Point Force India sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. But I think he's going to stay in that seat next year, and then he's going to move to Renault because Esteban Ocon... Has Esteban Ocon signed?
I don't think he has.
F1. Okay, we're gonna search that up really quick. And so, Esteban Ocon has confirmed signed the contract for next year. So he's in for next year, which is why means Gasly went to Alpha. He's gonna have another year in Formula One, another year in his car he feels very comfortable in, and a team that likes him. So he's gonna do that season, prove himself a little bit more, and I think he's going to go to Renault in 2022, and I think Renault's going to step it up. I hope Renault's going to step it up. I do not think they're going to be winning championships in 2022.
No, probably not.
But I think they're going to step it up.
Well,
I believe they will continue to step it up.
Hopefully.
And yeah, that's kind of all I have to say on that. Mark, any other points about anything we talked about?
No, I think we're kind of on the same page.
All right, so now moving on to our race predictions. This is usually we're going to make these race predictions based on the practice 1 and 2. We don't have that because there is no FP1 and 2.
No.
Or 2 and 3. There's just FP1 and it's tomorrow. So at the time of recording, we haven't watched any Formula 1 around Imola. So it's going to be kind of a guess. But I think it's going to be Hamilton, the race. I think Hamilton's going to finish first.
Yep.
Bottas is second.
Okay.
Max is third.
Yep.
It's boring, but
it's true. I agree. I'm just on the page.
And then it's going to be Carlos Sainz fourth.
Okay.
Or Daniel Ricciardo.
Okay.
They had a step back at Portugal, and McLaren.
I was thinking Danny Rick. I would like to see Danny Rick on a fourth spot.
But yeah, I'd like to see Danny Rick win championships.
Oh, absolutely. That'd be incredible.
Coming here for a hot take prediction, Daniel Ricciardo is going to be 2021 Formula One World Champion. You heard it here first.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You heard it here first.
I think in a season where no one can take a step forward, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, probably not. I think it's
granted, you never know. When McLaren gets that Mercedes engine, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
They are going to be pretty quick.
They're going to be real quick.
But we will discuss that on a later date, a later podcast.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot.
They already have some pretty incredible downforce.
Because there's a lot to play with that next year, and there's a lot of news and rumors about that and how they think it's going to go. But they are going to step it up. But that's not happening tomorrow, and that's not going to happen on Sunday, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be Danny Rick, and then Lando Norris is going to be fifth.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
that's actually super similar to what I was thinking. Because I was debating between Lando and Charles for 5th and 6th. And, maybe just to switch it up, I'm going to go back my Ferrari boy. It worked out for me last week. So I'm going to put Charles Leclerc at number 5 and Lando 6. But other than that, we have the pretty much same race predictions. You have this season's so boring because it's gonna be Lewis first, and that's gonna be either Charles or Max or Valtteri, 2, 3, one of the two, and then you have 4 other drivers who are competing for the 4, 5 spots.
This has been discussed a lot, but this is actually an extremely interesting season. I think it's because you only have 3 drivers that are podium capable right now, and it's Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, and Max Verstappen. There's no one else fighting for that podium, especially not Ferrari, and especially not Albon. So you went from 6 last year, or 5 last year, or 6.
Well, Seb was winning races last year, so 6.
I was talking about Albon.
Oh, sure.
Gasly, to 3. So say Max Verstappen retires, or he crashes, or Lewis Hamilton retires. Anytime it's that, you get a surprise podium. So you're seeing it's 7 different teams who are on the podium this year.
Yeah.
So it definitely is interesting. And
that part's interesting, but it's so predictable how the race is normally going to go.
Yeah, normal race with no issues for anyone. It's pretty predictable.
Yeah.
But you don't watch Formula 1 because it's predictable. You watch it because it's unpredictable. And this season is pretty unpredictable.
Okay, I'll give you that.
All right. So besides that, that's pretty much all. That's all we have today. So Mark, you have anything else to add before
I really don't.
Cut the mics? All right, well, thank you very much for watching. Once again, I am Adam Lyons.
Mark Gould.
And we are the Undercut Podcast. Make sure you check out our social media at The Undercut Pod. Go to our website at The Undercut Pod.
Yep.
And
we'll see you Sunday.
All right. We'll talk to you Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bye.